Hello. In this lab, we'll be integrating NetFPGA with Data. So here we have the configuration of MAX and we have reconfigured all the AP addresses for the network interface as it has to be done manually. For instance, with the IP address of 10.1.1.2, I've configured the IP to the NF2C2. After the setup, we can run the commands for UDP on respective nodes by logging in it using SSH. Now, RMEM underscore max and WMEM underscore max defines the maximum receive and send window size. So I've configured all of these and now I'm trying to run the TCP for node 0 and node 1. So when we run the reference NIC, we can see a bandwidth of very low amount, that is 168 megabits per second. This is extremely low because RDK daemon is not running on it and the kernel doesn't know the routing tables. So moving further, I'm trying to configure RKD into this. This will help in mirroring the kernel routing tables to the NetFPGA. It then determines the fastest routes across routers for least hops, and thus there is an increase in performance. Now, when run on the same system of reference NIC, it doesn't lead to a higher change. The value almost remains the same. But if we try to run reference router project, the TCP bandwidth changes to 941 megabits per second. This is close to the gigabit values which we were expecting in our run. Once this is done, we should make sure to kill the RK daemon running on our system. After this is done, I'm exiting from all of the root nodes and going to run for the lab 6-bit file, which we had generated previously. Also, before that, we have written a script file to easily configure all of the 4 nodes for sending and receiving information on UDP using bash shell scripting. So here, I'm trying to run that script. Once this is sourced, the log files are automatically generated and stored in the respective folders. So here, if you see, there are 4 source nodes and 12 client nodes running on each server. And this is facilitated using tmux command, which is basically a parallel command which can run in the background for SSHing. Now, if you look, I have attached tmux 0, and here you can see another source script running, that is server underscore run 0, which is specific to node 0. And like these, we have different commands for each servers. So all 4 nodes having 4 servers, and each node serving as 3 clients. So here is the log files that have been generated. Each server has its own respective files, and we have also individually piled up all the individual files which can be used for easier debugging. Now, if we look at the server files for the reference NIC project, we can see 3 clients which have reported to it. And the overall bandwidth which has been computed with this is 26 Mbps. And here we can see node 0 to client 1, client connecting to node 0 and its bandwidth. Similarly, it's for other projects as well, and we have files for each of these. Now, when we try to run reference router project on this, we get an approximate bandwidth of 3 Gbps, which is closer to the idealistic values of 3 clients transmitting data and 1 node acting as the server. Thus, the net FPGA can route IP traffic bidirectionally at line speed of 4 Gbps if all 4 clients are running at once. After this, I'm trying to run the original code for the project. So let me jump to the execution of it. So the command for downloading any NetFPGA is nf_download. And since all of the configurations have been done previously, I just need to download the file. Here we can see that project directory lab 6 and IDS project has been downloaded onto the NetFPGA. Once that is done, we can check if the device is configured properly. That can be done using pinging all of these systems. And for the same reasons, we are starting RKD so that all the router tables are fetched onto the kernel. Now I'm trying to ping other nodes and check if these all are active and are able to communicate with each other. And we can see they are successfully able to ping all the nodes. Now all the IDS-reg Perl file is being used to reset the specific register where the match count is loaded. So here a pattern is set for a 7-byte string. And once that is done, all of the packets are compared individually. Now, IDS-reg matches command provides the data that is stored in the register. So since sometimes it causes error, you should try to reset it and again run the values. Now we have the count is equal to 0. Here we couldn't run the entire IDS project because we were having some port connection errors with 10.1.0.3 and other relevant ports for each of the nodes because of the TCP connection not being able to send it to because the pipe was broken. We tried debugging it but couldn't reach to the solution of that. So we'll look at the script files for each of the commands. Here we have small script commands for each of these, and the main file for bash script is daiku.sh. So I'll open that up. Now here, I have created new sessions for tmux for each of the client and server connections. And in each specific commands, I'm first running the SSH, and after that, the servers are run with UDP commands as server. And here we can see 4 nodes running as server. After that, respective 3 clients are run, which will act as a client to all of the 3s. So here we can see server underscore run 0.sh, which is serving as a server, and the logs are saved onto n0 underscore server.txt, which can be used for debugging. Similarly, we have other files for client, wherein the ipuf command will be used in client mode and will be saved into individual client files like n0 underscore 3 underscore client. Now, here, if we look at the ids.p, this is the block diagram which we have got. So the input data is given to fall through FIFO and detect 7B. And the data is then used to increment the match counter. The user data flow overall is given as we have an input, arbiter and the input, and the output port lookup is mapped. After this, the IDS is the main block which is doing the pattern matching and filtering, which will drop the packets if there is a match. And then the result is given onto the output queues, which is mapped back to all the MAC queues, which are serving a 64-byte output to the receiver. So that's all. Thank you.